Hello, everyone, and happy Wednesday, and welcome to the best damn podcast you've never heard.
And that is
And that is Talks to
Talks
Go.
to Go, of course.
I mean, I hope we have a lot of repeating listeners, obviously, so you know the name of our podcast is Talks to Go, but we were obviously talking and, we're creeping slowly but surely to our 100th episode, and obviously, this, we like to say it over and over again, but this is very much like a passion project for the two of us, and we don't do this for the likes and the follows and the
And certainly not for the money.
and definitely not for the money, but we
which
do
is
it,
zip, zero, zilch, nada,
Yeah.
at least at this point.
currently it's not, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a passion project and a work of love for the both of us. We try, we both of us have lives outside of this, so some days, some weeks we don't put out episodes, some weeks we do, and we've had such amazing guests, but we do it because we love
So here's the
doing
deal.
it
So we've
together,
been
too.
we've been doing this now for close to 2.5 years. That's hard to
Crazy.
believe, right? And as you just said, we're closing in on our milestone 100th episode. Can't believe it. But you're right. This is something we'd love to do. We hope those of you who listen to it love it as well. But we'd love more listeners, and more viewers on YouTube. So as we'd like to say, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your relatives, tell your aunt, your
family,
uncle, your cousins,
your dogs.
whoever, your dog, your cats, your gerbils, whatever.
And dogs
we want
talk.
any ears and eyeballs will do.
Yeah,
right.
100%. But that's why we keep doing it, because we love doing it with not just each other, but we love talking to guests and hoping to bring, of course, more on in the near future. But let's get into today's episode, because we actually do have something really fun to discuss, and I know we both like a good debrief. Like, there's nothing.
Well, and we
there's
teased this
nothing-
out. We teased it out on the last episode.
Exactly. And there's nothing I like more than a good debriefing in the car. Like, when you go to see a movie, there's nothing I like to do more than talk about what you just saw. So as we sort of hinted out in we told,
Yeah.
as we said.
We were very explicit.
Yeah, in our last episode, we were we were going to see Hamilton on Broadway.
And we did indeed.
And we did. And
This
we
past Sunday
did
night.
just that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're here to break down all of our thoughts. And first, let's start off. If you had to give it a ranking, I don't know, do we want to do out of 5, out of 10?
Let's do it out of 10.
Okay, out of 10.
Let's do it out of 10.
Let's say overall, overarching, what would you rate it?
It was excellent. But
That wasn't a number.
no, I know. I'm going to get there. I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Whoa.
I'm going to give it a 9 because it's hard for anything to achieve perfection.
I was not expecting a 9.
Yeah, look.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it
Wow.
my favorite musical?
A 9 is really good.
Is it my favorite musical of all time? No.
What is your favorite musical of all time?
I would say a couple. I would say a few.
Jersey Boys.
Jersey Boys definitely up there. Now, here's the thing about Jersey Boys. I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
The first time, I absolutely loved it. Now, look, I'm of an age where, the Four Seasons, that was my wheelhouse,
Yep.
okay? And I love their music, and I love the show. Went back and saw it a second time, and for whatever reason, I didn't feel it was
didn't hit
as
the
good.
same.
Now, different cast, not all of them, but most of them, I think. I think 3 of the 4 have been replaced.
Yeah.
The numbers could be wrong, but for some, it just felt a little bit different. Maybe it's because it wasn't fresh to me. That's possible. But I absolutely loved it. Another one,
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. Now, again, we're talking, music during, I'm not going to say my childhood because that wouldn't be fair, but young adulthood. And, I know you told me it's coming back to Broadway, and my initial reaction was, I've seen it. I really liked it.
No.
But
I want to see it.
here's what convinced me to see it.
I know what convinced you
I know,
to see
but I'm
it.
going to say it anyway. So this past Saturday night, we went to a cousin's wedding, and shout out to our
Congrats,
cousins.
Nikki and Dane.
Congratulations to Nikki and Dane. The wedding was spectacular.
Yes.
Was beautiful. Well done. They didn't miss Didn't
They
miss a
gave out
beat.
Krispy Kreme donuts at the end,
Yeah,
so that got my seal
didn't
of
miss a beat.
approval.
But here's the thing. Towards the end of the evening, one of the songs the DJ played was Dancing Queen by ABBA.
Yep.
And, of course, Dancing Queen is in the musical Mamma Mia. And right then and there, I said, you know what?
Yep, we're
Got to
going.
see it again.
The
Got to
music
see it again.
is just everything.
Not only that,
The
but
music.
the show is very unique. And I don't know whether they still do this. I hope they do. When the show was over,
Yeah.
when the story was finished,
Yeah.
right? You figured, okay, they're coming out for their encore, their curtain calls, all that stuff. No. What they did was they gave a little mini concert of additional ABBA songs.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Oh, man.
I was like 8.
Well, you were very young.
I was 8 or 9
Yeah.
years old. This was
You
my
were
first
young. I
Broadway
said,
show ever.
You know,
Yeah.
if the show wasn't good enough and a lot of fun, which it was, I said, wow,
Yeah.
that was the cherry on top of the sundae. That
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah.
And for that alone, and I'm hoping they still do that, I would definitely go back and see it.
Yeah, well, I want to see it for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so funny. And that's one of the stage to movie adaptations that was really good.
Now, there's one other show I don't think I've ever seen on the stage that I'd like to see on the stage.
Which
And
is?
they bring it back, and that's West Side Story. That I'd like to see. I will never
100%.
forget. My mom and dad saw it. Never forget.
Did you see it on Broadway?
I never saw it on Broadway.
Oh,
no,
me
but my
either.
mom and dad saw it, and I remember when they came home. I think my grandfather had gotten them like front row or
Yeah.
real up close orchestra seats, and
Yeah.
they raved about it. Just absolutely, just loved it. And I love the movie, the original, not the Steven Spielberg remake.
Oh no, I didn't even see the
Yeah,
remake.
I don't even think I saw the whole thing, but the
Yeah.
original. Love the
The
movie.
OG,
Officer
so
Krupke,
good.
all that stuff. Just love
So
it. I
good.
think the music's fantastic.
I know.
Choreography, great. So that's another one I'd like to see that I've never seen on the stage. Yeah,
Yeah.
in a theater.
I think really quickly I'll list off some of my favorite musicals. Oh God! And then when you say it, it's just really hard. I mean, Mamma Mia is so good. I love Waitress.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Like the
Yeah.
music from Waitress is just so good. It's written by Sarah Bareilles. Like, oh my God, it's amazing. And I also really, for the more recent musicals, I really liked Book of Mormon.
Oh
Book
yeah,
of Mormon.
yeah, that was hysterical.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't remember any of the music from that show.
I don't either, but it was
But
great. I know
I
we
just-
saw that in London.
Yeah, we saw
on
that
the
on the West End. I
Yep.
just remember walking out and being like, oh my God, that was so funny. But yeah, obviously there's a ton of musicals with such good music.
One more for me that I
Yeah.
think fits that category. And I saw it on Broadway, maybe giving away my age a little bit. I saw it, 53. God, is that possible?
Yeah, because
53 years ago.
you know how old you are.
1972. Wow. Grease.
Okay.
Grease. That was the debut of Grease on Broadway.
Like the first Grease.
And the original Grease.
original
Grease
Grease.
with Barry Bostwick
Yeah.
playing Danny Zuko, and he was amazing. Yeah, that was great.
Did you come to the revival of Grease with me?
Yes.
That,
yes.
Okay, but remember there was like a TV show.
Yes, I do
on
remember where they
so
cast the show.
There was a television
Yeah.
show where they were looking for the Danny Zuko
Right.
and Sandy.
Yeah.
And it was almost like if you were a big Glee fan, it was like the Glee
Right.
project where
Yeah.
they were looking to bring new stars onto
Yeah.
Glee.
Yeah.
They were doing something and I think they did something similar with Legally Blonde too, where
may
they were
have.
looking for their next L. But I just remember like really watching that show, and we ended up going to see that on Broadway. I mean, there's just such good music in that show. You know.
Yep.
Remember I played Rizzo
I
in
do.
like a
I
stage.
do. I do. All right, so should
All
we
right, let's get back to Hamilton.
Let's get back to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you gave it a 9.
I gave it a 9.
Yeah.
I won't equivocate. Okay, I'm going to stick with my 9. Yeah.
You can equivocate.
No, it's
if you
okay.
want.
I'll stay with
I'm
the
just
9.
kind of shocked that
I was going to say 8.5 to 9, somewhere in that
that's
area.
still
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really good. I mean, okay, where I want to start is obviously Hamilton just celebrated their 10-year anniversary, right? Like
Right.
the show debuted in 2015.
It's hard to believe.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like time freaking
Right.
flies.
Yeah.
And we waited 10 years to go see it on Broadway. Obviously, in those 10 years, we sort of mentioned this last week, you were wavering on and off. Will I like this? Won't I like this? I don't want to see it. It's rap, blah, 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 blah. And then we were just like, you know what? We're going to go and see it. And so are you glad we went? Did it meet your expectations? Did it exceed your expectations?
I'm going to be honest. I didn't have any expectation.
None.
I didn't have a particular expectation. I really didn't.
None whatsoever.
None. You helped me out a little bit. As I said, I thought initially, before you set me straight, that it was all rap. And I'll tell you why. It's not, look, I'm not a rap fan, which probably doesn't come as a surprise to most people who know me, but it's fine. Rap, God bless you if you do. That's fine. The problem I have, and I'll talk about this a little bit more when we get deeper into this, is understanding what is being said.
Yeah.
I will admit that for a lot of the rap songs that we heard in Hamilton,
which is like 90% of the show,
I was clueless as to what they were saying.
Yeah.
Now, some of it might...
you still gave the show a 9.
But, yeah, for other reasons.
Okay.
Okay, which we'll get into as well.
Okay.
But, I know, I've got, some hearing challenges.
Yep.
And
which we don't fault you for.
And no, I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But, it's aided and abetted with hearing devices. That's okay, too. But a lot of times I'm thinking it's probably just me. But then I'll ask you, and you'll say, no, I didn't understand either.
Some of the stuff,
so,
it was hard for me to
first of
understand
all,
as well.
And it's just the nature of rap. A lot of it, they speak so quickly.
Yeah. Well, the beats in the show are very difficult. And obviously, on Broadway actors are known for their spectacular enunciation, which I will say a lot of it was like clearly, enunciated and spoken. But even for this show, it's very quick
I
rap.
will say that though, for some of those songs where it was not lightning quick, okay, where I could understand it, one of the things that I really appreciated, without question, was the writing. Lin-Manuel Miranda, brilliant,
genius,
just absolutely
literal genius,
brilliant. And when you think that 98% of the show is either sung or rapped, there's very little dialogue, spoken dialogue, right?
In fact, like.
It is
0.00001% is
the
spoken.
writing. I agree with you. Is sheer genius.
Yeah,
just sheer genius.
100%.
Yeah. Want me to get into other things?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The other
Say
thing,
what's on your mind.
the word that I used for you when we were talking about it last night on the way, or the other night on the way home.
Yep.
I found that it was very inventive. I saw things in that show that I don't think I've ever seen in other shows.
Yeah.
The thing that really impressed me was it was a combination of I'll call it choreography / staging
blocking
/ blocking.
Yep.
It was seamless. One scene just flowed into another. And what I really found awesome, I'll call it that.
Unique.
There were scenes, maybe it was unique, but there were scenes where, for the most of the scene, there were maybe 2 or 3 characters on the stage.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, the ensemble comes on, but it happens so seamlessly.
Yeah.
It's like I've never witnessed a flow like that in a Broadway musical.
Yeah, it's like they become part of the set.
Yeah.
Like even because there aren't a lot of set pieces, it's like there's like 2 stairs that go up on either side, and then they have like one moving staircase, and then they have a balcony in the back, and
and a revolving part of the stage revolves.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. It rotates.
There's like there's 2 rotating platforms that are circular.
Yep.
And there's only like a few set pieces like desks and stools and chairs and whatnot.
But even the way they did that, they would bring in a plank of wood, and it was
it's very
he didn't I think a lot of the credit has got to go to and I'm embarrassed. Well, the choreography and also the director.
Yeah, the director.
And I'm embarrassed to say I don't know. We don't have the playbill at hand right now.
Well, you can look it up.
Okay, but kudos to the director. Just fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just marveled from a production standpoint of how it was all pieced together. To me, it was like the way the way I thought about it, the show in its entirety was one big giant jigsaw puzzle, but the pieces
Yeah.
just fit so perfectly.
Yeah.
Just so well done.
Well,
So well done.
it's also, and you sort of forget, like, it is a history lesson
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
I learned stuff.
Yeah. So this is what I want to ask
Right.
you, because even for me, as someone who's listened to a lot of the music before, and I said this to you, I've really only deeply listened to the first act of music. I didn't know a lot of the music from the second act or even the storyline from the second act because, you know, a lot of the story and plot lines are built within the music and in the raps and whatnot. So I knew like the first half of the story, like locked and loaded. I knew most of those songs. And then the second act was kind of a whole big surprise to me. I mean, obviously I know about like the Federalist Papers and a lot of big pinpoints
Right, the
in
big
history,
events. The big events.
but a lot of the personal things, like the fact that he cheated
You
on
done
his
it.
wife.
Hamilton did.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Yeah, Alexander Hamilton
Right.
cheated on his wife.
Alexander Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Yeah, it just, what was the biggest piece or factoid that you learned?
That
took
was
away
what
from
that
the
was. That was
show?
probably it for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, granted, it's been years since I was in school and we studied the Revolutionary War period
Yeah.
in the beginning of the birth of the country.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But did you
but-
know a lot about, did you know Aaron Burr's involvement
to
within
a degree,
the story?
yeah,
Okay.
to a degree,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't even really know Aaron
yeah.
Burr
But the
was
fact
a
that
person.
Hamilton was a cheetah, no, I did not
A
know
cheetah?
that. A cheetah.
A cheater?
He cheated on his wife.
Cheater,
yes.
cheater, pumpkin
Yeah.
eater.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought, okay, this is sort of where I want to go into. What was, because you almost said it, and then I was like, no, let's save it for the pod.
Okay.
What was your favorite song?
I had two, but I'll pick one of. They
Okay.
were both in the second act.
Well, we say your top favorite, and then you can give the other
Okay,
one.
my top favorite was One Last Time. And the reason why,
Really
first
good
of all,
song.
I thought the production of that was great.
Yeah.
But, a lot of, when you think back on it, when you're watching and listening to the show,
Yeah.
a lot of what occurred back in the late 1700s and 1800s,
Yeah.
they talk about history repeating
No,
itself.
oh my God, Dad. Literally thought the same thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking, look, and I know we don't get into politics
Yep.
on this podcast, but I'll just make one reference, and I'm not choosing sides, okay? But it will come as no surprise to anybody who's listening to this and anybody who hasn't been living under a rock. Trump has made some noise about somehow, some way circumventing the Constitution and running for yet a third term, which by the Constitution is not permitted.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Regardless whether the terms were consecutive or not. He's not permitted to run for a third term, but he's making noise about that. And I'm thinking, if 100 years from now, if it's not Hamilton, but it's Trump, okay, they'd have a very difficult time using that song. Because, One Last Time does not suit his sentiment, at least as he's talking today.
Aaron Burr.
No.
Oh,
Trump.
yeah.
Trump,
Yeah.
right? It's not. I mean, I think if he had his druthers, he would run again and think he wins again, and that remains to be seen.
It just
But
reminded me of that like little piece of dialogue that was brought up where I think it was like Jefferson and Madison, and I don't know. He was saying like, "Oh, I can run again, and I can change that. Oh, because I'm president.
Right.
Oh no, you know what it was? It was for in the beginning of history, how the guy who came in second place would automatically
Become the vice president.
Become the vice president.
Right.
And I think it was Jefferson. He said, "Oh, we're changing that because I'm president and I can make up the rules."
Right.
And now Madison became his VP or
Yeah.
whatever it
Yeah.
is. So I just found that to be really like, oh
So
my
it is
God.
true. History does repeat itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
So one last time, really.
Yeah, that, and then the other song, and I apologize again not for not knowing the title, but it's a song where I think it's Hamilton. Is it?
Oh, Dear Theodosia.
Is that what it's
in the,
called?
Yeah, it's the duet between
Yes.
Aaron Burr and Hamilton.
Yes.
And Aaron Burr is singing to his long lost lover Theodosia, who lives across the seas, and then Hamilton is singing to his
The other
newborn son.
Yeah, the other historical fact that I was unaware of is that I think it was Hamilton's son was also
Died in a
shot
yeah,
in a duel
in a
and
duel.
killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And as I remarked to you, even though the person who played
The son. Yeah.
was an adult,
Yeah, he was supposed to be like 19.
And I felt myself getting emotional.
Yeah.
It was
it is sad.
It was sad. It was
Yeah.
the way the actress who played his mother,
Eliza.
and Hamilton,
Yep.
but particularly how she reacted to, her dying son was beautifully done, beautifully
it's
performed.
really
Yeah,
sad.
and I felt myself. I don't know if chills is the right word, but I found myself emotionally affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So it had
for sure.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. Now, if you ask me, would I go see it again? Probably not.
Fair enough.
It's a one and done for me.
That's fair enough.
And primarily because, and I thought, no, I make the distinction between going to see Jersey Boys twice, probably Mamma Mia again, and deciding not to go see Hamilton. It's the music. It's the familiarity with the songs.
That's fair enough.
And that's really what it comes down to for me.
Yeah, that's fair
Because
enough.
to me, it's more than a musical in that respect. It's kind of a mini concert.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, because they're singing off of a musician's discography. It's not original music. It's music that
Right.
they're pulling from.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
I mean, would you call Mamma Mia and Jersey Boys a jukebox musical?
Jersey Boys more so than Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Only because
I mean, I guess there is original music in Mamma Mia.
Jersey
But-
Boys is more biographical.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah,
Carol
right.
King
Yeah,
musical.
and they,
Neil
they
Diamond.
took the songs from Mamma Mia and they crafted a story around them,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Here with Jersey Boys, no, they were, it was part.
It was the story.
It was the story of the Four Seasons. Yeah, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
For
So
sure.
yeah, a little bit different in that regard.
Okay, fair
yeah,
enough.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you about is in the beginning of the show when we meet the Schuyler sisters,
Mm-hmm.
and Eliza gets married to Hamilton, and then they sort of rewind everything, and then they show it from Angelica Schuyler, her older sister's perspective. Did you get that
No.
while it was happening?
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't.
Okay.
No, that went by me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's what happened. Really, it's like Angelica was in love with Hamilton
Yeah. No,
all along.
I missed that. I think I was zoning out on something else, so I missed that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I've given a fairly comprehensive,
Yeah.
not review, but a download, if you will, or a debrief,
Yep.
as you call it, of how I felt. What about you? First of
Okay.
all, where did on a 1 to 10?
I would. Okay, this is sort of what's going to go into my rating, and
Okay.
it's really difficult for me because I being up with pop culture and everything, like when it was becoming really popular, all of my friends were going to see it and I really wanted to go see it. And then by the time it just absolutely tore up and blew up, it was so expensive to go and see. And you and Mom, I think I was in high school, so I didn't have the money to pay for it really, and so I would have gone with you and Mom, and you and Mom had absolutely zero interest in going to see it. And now do you kind of regret not
No.
listening to me?
No, I don't, because like a lot of things in life, sometimes you've just
takes
got to wait
time.
for the proper moment,
Okay.
and this just happened to be that moment.
Okay, fair
No,
enough.
No,
But
I've
here's-
got it's really not FOMO, but no regrets that
Okay.
I didn't see it sooner.
Well, I have big
Didn't change my
FOMO.
life.
Well, I have big FOMO.
Okay.
Because here's what I'll say. I typically am not the type of person when it comes to Broadway musicals where I listen to like the Broadway cast album recordings before going to see a show, because I don't want to be that person who's at the show like mouthing the lyrics and like all of that. Like I really just want to like sit and soak it in. But obviously Hamilton's been around for 10 years and it's been part of the pop culture universe where not listening to the music was kind of unavoidable. So I listened to a lot of the music, and like I said before, I knew a lot of the music from the first half of the show because those are some of the most popular songs to come out of the show. And so for me personally, I'm used to hearing those songs with the original cast of Lin-Manuel Miranda and Philippa Sue and just anyone and everyone who's in that OG cast. So for me, when I was sitting at the show, it was hard for me to like not hear their voices when I was listening to the songs on Broadway. And that's
Right.
not to take away from the people who are performing in the show now. Like they're very talented singers
terrific.
and performers and actors, but
Yeah.
I'm so used to visually seeing the songs acted out a certain way and heard a certain way that for me I'm like, god damn, like I wish I saw the musical with the original cast.
Okay.
Like,
Do you feel?
know?
Did you feel cheated then when you saw it?
I wouldn't
And
say,
be honest.
no, I wouldn't say cheated, but
Okay.
yeah, like
Or a little disappointed?
maybe a little.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
But I don't even. I think like I just said, I think it's hard because my ears are so used to hearing it a certain way and in certain like vocal ranges and whatnot that it definitely felt different, like not seeing the main people's faces.
So, and I know
on
this.
stage.
Well, this is not going to happen immediately. It may happen for you somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
But let's say you go back and see it, and Leslie Odom Jr. is in it.
Yeah,
Do you think you'd feel differently about the show?
probably.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah. But like, I mean, personally, like taking away from like the people that were in it, like Hamilton as a musical and like you said, the staging and the choreography and the music, like for me, it's an 8. Like it's such a good show. The music is amazing. The choreography is amazing. Staging, whatnot. Like it's just
The costuming.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just an ingenious
The,
show, and it definitely just like doesn't take away, but you forget that you're watching a musical about history.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you really
because
did.
It really just brings you in, sucks you in.
I thought from a production standpoint, when I said there's nothing that's perfect,
yeah.
this was as flawless a production as I think you can find. And I'm talking about all the elements from set design, stage design, lighting. I'll get to sound in a second.
You talked a little bit about sound.
Yeah. It was great. Now, sound. And I'm not just picking on Hamilton. And again, this could be, my thing. I'm finding the last few musicals that we've seen,
Yeah.
the orchestra,
Yeah.
or put it this way, the singers
No,
have
the volume
of the
orchestra
music
overpowers
the singing. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And a lot of times I'm thinking, it's me.
But it's
You
not.
know,
No,
and
it's
I'm,
not.
and I don't want to say I'm happy to hear you say that, but I think it's a problem that Broadway producers need to address.
No, I agree.
Particularly since a lot of I think Broadway tends to skew a little bit older.
No, 100%.
For the most part.
100%.
So you're gonna.
Depending on what musical
That's
you're
true.
seeing.
That's
if you're going
true.
to see a Disney musical, it
Yeah,
skews younger.
no, that's true.
Yeah.
But for the most part.
Yes.
For the most part. I think it
Yes.
skews a little bit older.
Yes.
And look, older people, I mean, it's a fact of life. As you get older, a lot of people have got, I call it hearing challenges. So I think it's something they really need to address.
Oh, 100%. And even for me, like on some of the less show-stopping like big ensemble numbers, like I felt like the noise coming out of the mics wasn't that, like, it didn't project.
Wasn't voluminous?
And no.
Okay.
And so, like, for me, I was sometimes like even trying to look at their mouths and
Wow.
like read their
You've got a
lips.
lip read.
No, I was trying to sometimes, like, especially in those big ensemble numbers where like you said, I felt like the orchestra was sometimes overpowering the ensemble, whereas like you don't need it to, because there's so many people on stage singing the lyrics.
Yeah. You know what? You might find this funny. There are occasions, for example, when I won't understand what the hell they're saying.
Yeah.
And I say to myself, George, just stay with it. You'll catch up.
Yep.
At a certain point, you'll get what this is about.
Right.
That,
Yeah.
I really say that to myself.
No,
I say,
no,
I'm not.
I know.
I'm in the moment. In the moment, I don't understand a damn thing they're saying. Right. But stay with it. You'll catch up.
Yeah.
And eventually, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think what's different about Hamilton is obviously, you know, it's drawn from real life.
Right.
And so you're very much a history person and, like, you know a lot about history. So for you, it's like, okay, this is where we are in that point in time in history.
But it was even cool. They even had one of the few spoken piece of dialogue where I will call period announcements, where they would say, "This is." I'm trying to come
Wait,
up
what do
with
you
it.
mean?
It was very fast. It was like one line. They say, "This is now the Jefferson administration," something like that.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
like, where they'll say the year and they're like, the Battle of Yorktown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they tell you like where you are.
So it sets it up. Yeah, right.
Like
so you
the
know where
election of
you know where you are on the
1800.
historical timeline.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that helped.
Yeah,
that
for
definitely
sure.
helped.
I mean, like the names of the
Yeah.
songs are the literal
Right.
like battles or the election of 1800
Yeah.
or whatever it is. I know one part that you forgot to mention that we both really, really enjoyed, which was the king.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
It was great.
And the
Da
thing
da
is,
da 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 da.
See, that stuck with you.
What?
That stuck with you
Yeah.
because it's really catchy.
It's very catchy.
And you know what it is?
And the way he sings it too.
100%.
Yeah.
But this is something that I will say about that is
I know where you're going. Go
Jonathan
ahead.
Groff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy that was in our show, so talented.
Very
like
good.
honestly,
Very
one of
good.
the best singers, performers out of the entire cast. And the craziest part is that like the king is one of the smallest roles. Like he's only on stage 3 or 4 times.
Right.
And it's to sing this song. And he was incredible. But what I will say about this is that obviously Jonathan Groff is the original king.
And I remember seeing him perform that, I think, on the Tonys.
Yeah, probably.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Wait, like from this past year?
No.
Oh, originally.
But yeah.
And so he like made that character, you know, like he built that character, like from the way he decided to like have that like stoic face and like be really still and his little like dance moves and the way he sort of enunciates certain words in a song. Like he really made that character. So for me, again, like seeing King George, I'm like, oh my God, I like wish it was Jonathan Groff, but that doesn't take away, obviously, from the guy that we saw perform because he was incredibly talented.
Yeah.
The guy that we saw in our show.
I want to find him.
Oh, the guy that played King George.
Yeah.
I wish I brought the playbill down because we could have pulled everything from that.
Let's see.
Can you see who's currently?
It's going to take too long to look at.
Do you want me to run up and grab the playbill?
Wait a second. No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. But yeah.
But anyway, he was
Our
incredible.
apologies to that fine actor because
He
you
was
were
amazing.
spectacular.
Yeah,
you were
no,
stellar.
he
Yeah.
was amazing,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Did you have any other like favorite characters or moments from the show that you want to bring up?
I think I touched on the ones that really stood out for me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I thought they would make a bigger deal out of the Burr-Hamilton duo. Duel.
There was a whole song.
I know.
There was like a whole monologue.
Yeah, I know. I Yeah, I guess. I'm just talking about the physical act itself. That's all.
It literally took up like 5 minutes of
Yeah.
the show,
Okay.
which is a lot.
All right. I take that back. Okay. No, I really enjoyed it.
Did you like how, not like, but did you think it was cool how they had that person like being the bullet that was like traveling across the stage?
Yeah, the other thing I thought was cool too. It sounds.
I know it sounds silly. It's
No,
like
it
the guy's
sounds-
literally dying, and I'm like, did you think it was cool how the bullet was?
No.
portrayed on
I'm talking about
stage?
when his son is dying.
Yeah.
And you hear the drum beat, boom,
Yeah, the
which is supposed
heartbeat.
to mimic his heartbeat.
Yeah,
And then the drum beat stops.
yeah. No, it's very
And you go,
emotional.
oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very emotional.
Again, very inventive.
Yeah.
That's the one word that really comes to mind when I think about it.
Yeah.
And appreciate it.
And you know what that time period makes me grateful for today is
Which
easy
teacher?
mode of transportation. Like thinking about the fact that people would take boats from, they're like, oh, we'll see you in a week because they're traveling in a boat
Yeah.
from London to New York.
Right.
And also I loved when they would bring up Jersey and just make
Yeah.
jokes about
There were a couple
New
of Jersey
Jersey.
references. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they love to do that in like
Right.
Manhattan,
Yeah.
New York Broadway
Yeah.
shows is
Yeah.
just make fun
Yeah.
of New Jersey.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had a good time. You
I
enjoyed
did
yourself?
have. It was an enjoyable evening at the theater.
Good.
Yes.
I'm really glad.
Yes, it was.
I'm really glad.
So don't ask me what I want to see next. I really don't know.
I wasn't going to.
I don't know.
Oh, but really quickly, I will ask you on mic, so you're a little bit pressured to answer.
Okay.
Is my friend Madison, shout out to Madison, my friend Madison from college, like we were having a little text conversation about current Broadway shows, and she has gone to go see a lot of the shows that were up for Tonys this year, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And so I told her I wanted to go see John Proctor, and she was like, nah, I don't really want to go see that. I was like, okay. So then I asked her, what is one show this Broadway season that you would highly recommend going to see, that you'd be like, okay, no, you have to see this. You can't miss it. And she said maybe Happy Ending, which obviously won the Tony for Best Original Musical.
Yeah.
And I told you that, and we wanted to go. We were deciding what show we wanted to go see for Father's Day, and you were struggling, and I was like, okay, what about maybe Happy Ending? And you were like, nah. So now, are you even the slight? This is gonna become our next Hamilton, where
I don't
we're
know
not gonna
about
be
that.
seeing
I think
for-
that's a push.
Okay, yes, it
That
hasn't
Hamilton was
created
and remains to be a cultural phenomenon.
Yes.
I can't say that show is going to be that.
I feel like obviously that's,
Yeah.
it's comparing oranges and apples.
Right.
But it's like another thing where I'm trying to tell you, like, hey, this is the show of the moment. And you're like, nah.
And I'm basing it just on one thing.
Darren Criss?
No,
What
I like
it's
Darren
about?
Criss as a performer. It's the one scene that they performed in the Tonys.
Okay, but I see,
And
I don't think that should reflect
but
the
here's the
show.
deal.
What you think it's like a showcase?
It's a showcase. It's a marketing
Marketing,
tool.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fair
if
enough.
you want people to come to the show, show a scene or play a song
Yeah.
that you think is going to appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah.
That particular scene, that song did not appeal to me. I'm sorry. It just didn't.
Okay,
It
but-
did not resonate.
Okay, but let's go over to Hamilton. If they performed like a less ensemble, slower number, would that have lured you in?
Maybe. Yeah. Again, because I think when they, in the Tonys, they probably picked a number. I think it was Alexander Hamilton, which they probably did, and rightfully so. I get that.
I mean, it was 10 years
I think
ago,
that
so I
was
don't remember.
I think the song they probably performed during the Tonys was probably rap. And
Sure.
So.
And we're not talking about the recent 10-year anniversary mashup. We're talking
Right.
about
No. I'm talking about
the original Tony
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But look, that's water under the bridge. I'm glad we went. I had a good time. I enjoyed it. Now on to the next show.
On to the next
Well, I
show.
will say this, and it's been a while since we've done this, since we've seen what I'll call a straight play.
Yeah,
Not a
and
musical.
I told you I wanted to see a straight play.
Oh, Mary, right?
No.
Which one?
John Proctor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And I have seen a straight play recently. I went to go see that show All Nighter. The one about college.
Oh, yeah.
I went with my friend Madison.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Which was really good.
Yeah. Or maybe I'd like to see a classic revival, whatever comes back. Something.
That bores me.
Nah. I like, for example, if Glenn Ross came back, I'd like to see that.
Wait, is it done?
Oh, is it on Broadway now?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Duh.
Either that or it's like about to come back. I think it's currently on.
Then I want to go see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have fun.
That I go see.
Have fun.
Because I'll never forget one last thing before we put a bow on this baby. When
Well,
I first
not yet,
when I
but-
first started taking scene study, acting classes, that was one play that a
Yeah.
lot of people did scenes from.
Well, I don't even know what it's about.
Oh, it's great.
What's it about?
It's
Is it
about
a comedy?
No, it's not a comedy at all.
okay.
No, it's a drama.
Okay.
It's about sales and being cutthroat, and it's.
Okay.
I think it. David Mamet, fabulous playwright. I think it may have won a Tony. I think it did. Yeah, I'd like to
I'm
see.
pretty sure Kieran Culkin is in it.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Kieran Culkin's in
Yeah.
Glenn, or
Okay.
I don't freaking
Yeah.
know, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, really quickly before we quickly get into our obsessions, I just want to bring up something very quickly because this is kind of like,
Quickly
I
is
know.
the word of the
Blah,
day.
blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Because it's kind of spreading like wildfire across the internet, which is Benson Boone hate, and I will not stand for it. Like his new album just came out, which
Right.
I put on during like our drive into the city,
Uh-huh.
and he's getting so much hate
And why is
for
that?
his album. They're saying it's not thought through. The lyricism isn't good. It's, he's sort of like a one-hit wonder, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just here to say, screw you all. I think Benson Boone
Are you a Boonie?
I don't know what
A
his...
Swiftie or a Boonie?
Or a Booner.
Or a Benny? Or a Benny?
A Booner? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a little, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
But,
a little weird.
I'm going to say either a Benny or a Boonie.
No.
No?
Let's not
Okay.
go there.
All
But
right.
I think his album is good, and it's
Okay.
just like fun pop music, and I will not stand for the Benson Boone hatred online. Like Variety put out an article that the headline was, "It only took Benson Boone 17 minutes to make this album, and it sounds like it."
Okay.
Like what?
All right.
And you like Benson Boone?
Yeah, it's
too.
fine. I mean, I'm not
Okay, fine.
spending hours downloading his stuff, but it's not that I won't listen to him. I listen to him. He's fine. Yeah. The one song, it's that God knows how much money he's making off of this.
Beautiful Things.
Is that the title for the Cadillac
Please.
commercial?
Oh.
No.
His song in the Nights Like These.
Oh my God. First of all, I didn't know it was him.
Yeah.
And for the longest time,
Yeah.
I thought it was a woman singing the song.
Well, fair enough.
I really did.
I know you did.
But wow. I mean, that song has grabbed me. Yeah.
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 No, but he is good music, and I will not stand for the Benson Boone hate. So,
Okay.
justice for Benson Boone, please.
All right. You
All
know
right,
what?
obsessions.
Obsession.
Hamilton?
No.
No.
Oh, I'll give you an obsession. This is a negative obsession.
Oh, great.
Okay, which ties into my obsession is with New York City traffic. And I'm not the
It's
first.
living rent-free in your head.
I'm telling you. The times that we've driven in to go to these shows, and we've made it by the skin of our teeth because the damn traffic
One
coming
too
out of the
many.
Lincoln Tunnel, somebody, and I know the congestion pricing was supposed to relieve that.
No.
Bull. It's not doing
Absolute
it.
bull.
I'm telling you, I don't care what direction you go, whether, for those of you who live in this part of the country, this part of the world, you know what I'm talking about when you drive through the Lincoln Tunnel to go into Midtown Manhattan, and you either try to make a left onto West 41st Street to go to 10th Avenue, or you try to make a right on West 40th Street to go up to 8th Avenue. What is really sick, and whoever
Sick.
comes up with the solution, I will, whatever. it's insane, pure insanity that it takes us 20, 25 minutes to get from our home in northern New Jersey to the entrance or through the Lincoln Tunnel. And then it could take anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes to go 10 blocks in Manhattan is pure
sick.
Nuts.
Absolutely
it's nuts.
sick.
So whether it's Cuomo, whether it's
Adams,
Mondani, whoever wins the mayor, whoever becomes mayor of New York, okay?
Figure this
do something,
out.
please. Earn your damn congestion relief toll.
Figure this shite out.
It's terrible. It's maddening. So that's my negative obsession, okay? I got it off my chest. Oh, God.
It's absolute bullshit.
It really is. It's terrible.
No.
Terrible.
You look distraught.
I know. It's aggravating. Because no matter how much time we leave ourselves,
no, it's never enough.
It's never enough.
It's never enough.
I mean, here curtain was 7:00.
Yeah.
And I drop you off in front of the
We sat down in the theater at 7:03.
Right. I've dropped you off in front of the theater
at 6:50.
At 6:50.
Yeah.
Right. The parking garage was just around the block.
Yep.
And I didn't meet you until
7:03.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7:04.
It's insane.
Yeah. Did you get it off your chest? Take
ahead.
A breath. Take a
I'm
breath.
Done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm so done. Okay.
Okay, can I say my obsession?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. So my obsession is, and I'm going to stick with it, I feel like it's going to be my obsession until my new favorite show comes out, like in July. It's still Love Island. Like, you know, I'm deep in the throes of Love Island, and I said justice for Benson Boone, but I'm also going to say justice for Charlie, the Brit that went on to Love Island USA. Like, frickin' justice for Charlie. What I don't understand is how these women are not going for a Brit on Love Island USA. That's like candy to me. That is like, and anyone who knows me, and I've probably mentioned this on this podcast, is I want to marry a Brit. I want to marry a brunette British man
with blue eyes, right?
With blue eyes,
blue
but
eyes,
like Charlie didn't have blue eyes. But hey, you get a pass. You're beautiful
you can
anyway.
always wear contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. But no, like no one was going for this man, and he was one of the best guys, and now we're stuck with these annoying little pricks on the show.
Telling it like it is.
I will.
Okay.
And man children, like I'm taking a page out of Sabrina Carpenter's book, like they're all man children. And Charlie was one of the good ones, and they just got rid of his ass. And I was so mad, and I'm still so upset. And he, after leaving the show, was doing a lot of press, and like just hearing him talk made me like him even more. And I'm like, why did you get rid of this man? Like, it just literally makes no sense. And hi, Charlie.
Okay. Bye, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. So, yeah, I'm really sad for him. Justice for Charlie. And he's going to be doing great things. Like,
Okay.
I wish him nothing but the best.
All right.
So,
Cool.
yeah, we're sorry if you are not a Broadway fan, because that was most of this episode. But hopefully you're still listening at this
Maybe that's
point.
why we're the best damn podcast you've never heard.
Correct. Because we just talk about what we want to talk about, and bring you guests that we want to talk to.
Yeah.
So,
But
yes.
in that regard, I'll continue to say, for those of you who do listen to the
Yeah.
best damn podcast you've never heard,
Correct.
if you have suggestions as to guests you'd like to see or hear on the podcast,
Yep.
please let us know, and we will do our best
To get them.
to get them. God knows we've tried. We can't tell you to get countless
we don't have
numbers
to
of
say
people.
We don't have to repeat
No, I'm just going to
ourselves.
say
We sound
countless
like a
number of
broken
people.
record.
We either get no response
Okay,
or we get a no
we
thank
sound
you.
like a
That's
broken
it.
record.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
we sound like a
But
broken
again,
record.
if you have somebody, let us know. We'll try and get them.
And that's why we are the best damn podcast you've never heard, because no one responds to us.
So with that, should we say goodbye?
Let's put a bow on the baby.
Okay,
And we
take
will
care, guys.
talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.